Well, hello there, you rascals. Today, we're diving into Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg's 1993 masterpiece, where common sense is extinct and dinosaurs roam free. Because that's a bloody brilliant combination, wouldn't you say? Spoiler alert, we're spoiling the whole damn movie. Let's start with the man who kicked off this dino shit show, John Hammond. He's got pockets deeper than a T-Rex's appetite and more money than sense. And he's determined to prove it by building a theme park stuffed with genetically resurrected dinosaurs. Because apparently, roller coasters and water slides were too boring for this old chap. That's right, you heard me correctly. Prehistoric monsters in a family-friendly fun zone. What could possibly go wrong? Of course, the real question is how you even get dinosaurs to begin with. Enter fossilized tree sap. Good old amber, with ancient mosquitoes trapped inside. Hammond's so excited about these prehistoric bloodsuckers that he forgets entirely about the concept of natural selection. Slap some frog DNA in the gaps, and voila, you've got a bunch of scaly murder lizards running around your future theme park. Because hey, if you can isolate DNA from a bug that bit a dino 65 million years ago, what could possibly go wrong? We spared no expense. Indeed, except maybe on common sense and, about 1,000 safety measures. To sell this brilliant idea, Hammond needs to convince a team of experts. He enlists Dr. Alan Grant, a brilliant paleontologist who'd rather hug a fossil than babysit living, breathing kids. Then there's Dr. Ellie Sattler, sharp as a velociraptor's claw and apparently game for any insane science project if the money's big enough. So our dear billionaire gate crashes Dr. Alan Grant's peaceful fossil dig. Imagine you're out in the Badlands of Montana, diligently scraping at dino bones under the scorching sun, and suddenly here comes a helicopter blowing 65-million-year-old dust right into your eyes, because sure, that's the perfect way to make a good first impression. Then Hammond busts into their research trailer, helps himself to their fridge, and pops open the most expensive champagne they own like he owns the place, which technically he does now since he's dangling that sweet, sweet funding in front of them. It's like a jolly old relative visiting uninvited, only instead of awkward stories, he's got dinosaur resurrection plans up his sleeve. And let's not skip the kid who sasses Dr. Grant about velociraptors being 6-foot turkeys. Big mistake, Junior. Grant whips out a raptor claw and delivers the most traumatizing bedtime story ever. The raptor slashes you here, spills your guts there, and you're alive while they start to eat you. Like holy hell, talk about mental scarring. The poor lad's face goes paler than Hammond's hair. One can only assume he'll be sleeping with the lights on till college. And finally, we have Dr. Ian Malcolm, a so-called chaos theorist. Basically a snarky mathematician in leather, sporting sunglasses indoors, and enough arrogance to fill a goddamn raptor pen. He's mostly there to say, hey, this is a terrible fucking idea, but does anyone listen? Nah. But the best part? Our dear John Hammond thinks it's a smashing idea to bring his grandkids along to beta test his live dino safari. Tim and Lex, who seem utterly thrilled to be used as test dummies in a park full of giant lizards that can swallow them whole. Truly a Grandfather of the Year candidate, that one. Cue the grand tour. We see majestic brachiosauruses nibbling leaves, making everyone go, "Oh, it's so magical." Right until you realize these 30-ton prehistoric bastards could stomp you like a stray cockroach. Dr. Grant starts warming up to Tim and Lex, though you can tell he still kind of hates the small, loud versions of humans. Ellie dotes on a sick triceratops. Think of it as a truck-sized cow with horns. Meanwhile, Dr. Malcolm stands around looking sexy and stressed, reminding us all that life finds a way, which is basically code for shit's about to hit the fan. In the background, we meet the world's most unreliable IT guy, Dennis Nedry. He's got one job: keep the park's security systems running. But he's also got a colossal chip on his shoulder and a side hustle dealing stolen dino embryos in a fucking Barbasol can. I get it, Nedry. College loans can be a bitch, but sabotaging an entire dinosaur park for a quick payday is next-level greed. Does he realize shutting down fences in a dinosaur park might lead to a few missing limbs? Nah, he's too busy whining about not getting a decent paycheck.
You didn't say the magic word.
And guess what happens when you shut down the entire security grid in a dinosaur-infested vacation spot? You basically fling open the cages for a prehistoric murder spree. Then, as if that's not deranged enough, there's a tropical storm rolling in, because the only thing better than a T-Rex on the loose is a T-Rex on the loose in a raging downpour. Now, the Tyrannosaurus Rex doesn't just tiptoe out. She tears through the fence like a beast on steroids. And guess who's her first chew toy? The lawyer, of course, who flees to a rickety outhouse, presumably with his pants around his ankles. Spoiler: outhouses don't stop multi-ton apex predators. She yanks the roof off, leaving him half-naked, half-hysterical, and 100% fucked. One massive chomp later, T-Rex enjoys some sweaty legal counsel. Meanwhile, Nedry gets his karmic comeuppance when a spit-happy dinosaur decides to ruin his escape plan. Moral of the story: if you're going to commit corporate espionage, at least bring a functioning GPS, or maybe just don't be a massive asshole. He dies choking on dinosaur goo in his own Jeep, while that Barbasol can sink into the mud forever. Good riddance. Back to the kids, who are now stranded in a broken-down tour vehicle. They stare death in the face as the T-Rex decides Jeeps taste better than goats. Dr. Grant channels his reluctant paternal instincts to keep them alive, which involves some heart-stopping hiding and a lot of internal screaming. Dr. Grant, in a valiant moment of world's most dangerous babysitter, does his best to keep them from becoming T-Rex chew toys. Let's add that to his CV. Survived babysitting job with a 20-foot lizard eyeing the children like a snack bar. As if the T-Rex fiasco wasn't enough, we soon discover Velociraptors are basically the fucking Mensa members of the dinosaur world. They can open doors, outflank grown men, and probably balance your checkbook if you gave them half a chance. Big game hunter Robert Muldoon learns he's not the alpha when a raptor flanks him with that iconic clever girl moment.
Clever girl.
Turns out, even a seasoned hunter is a dino happy meal if raptors get serious. Meanwhile, poor Ray Arnold, chain-smoking Samuel L. Jackson, tries to reboot the power, loses an arm and the rest of himself off-screen. Because not even
Hold on to your butts.
can save you from a hungry raptor. Ellie Sattler heads to a creepy utility shed to reboot the power, only to discover raptors lurking like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. She narrowly escapes dismemberment, though not before grabbing what she thinks is a helping hand, only to realize it's just Arnold's severed arm left over from those scaly devil's lunch break. At this point, half the cast is running from raptors, while the T-Rex roams free outside. Let's give a quick round of applause to John Hammond for creating a real-life Hunger Games minus the stylish outfits. Eventually, the gang reunites in the visitor center, aka Raptor Central. Tim and Lex get cornered in a kitchen, proving these scaly psychopaths have the stealth and cunning of ninjas on steroids. The kids manage to outsmart one raptor by locking it in a freezer, some real Home Alone shit, only with deadly reptiles instead of stupid-ass burglars. Because nothing says comedic gold like a ninja lizard slipping on ice and getting locked in. Just when it seems like Dr. Grant, Ellie, and the kids are about to become Raptor Chow, the T-Rex barges in like the Kool-Aid Man, tossing raptors around like squeak toys. It's a true apex predator moment, complete with a dramatic roar beneath the "When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth" banner. Realizing that maybe resurrecting apex predators for a weekend safari wasn't the smartest idea, Hammond packs everyone who's still breathing into a helicopter and gets the hell out of Dodge. Dr. Grant, who once despised kids, now holds Tim and Lex like his newly adopted offspring, because nearly getting devoured by dinosaurs bonds people fast. Dr. Ian Malcolm is battered, bruised, and presumably dropping F-bombs at anyone who suggests a sequel. And there you have it. Jurassic Park, a timeless lesson in what happens when you clone prehistoric murder lizards for a tourist attraction. Your staff gets eaten, your grandkids are traumatized, and your lawyer munched on the John. We spared no expense. Indeed. Except maybe for common sense. If watching corporate idiots get shredded by prehistoric murder lizards brought a smile to your face, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button for more savage cinematic roasts. And remember, if you ever get the urge to play God for a quick buck, maybe stick to building a mini golf course. Fewer lawsuits, less blood.